Switch gears again, this time to North Korea, test launching that ICBM that could be capable of carrying a nuclear weapon to U.S. soil. Joining us now to talk about this, former CIA Covert Operations Officer Mike Baker. Mike, as always, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, of course.
This is such a difficult situation to deal with. We can express outrage as much as we want with North Korea, but clearly they're going to do whatever they want to do. How does Mike Baker feel the U.S. should deal with this situation in North Korea?
Well, yeah, you're right. Difficult, almost one of those situations, unfortunately, where there aren't any good alternatives. What we can say is that China is still the key, is still the linchpin here. It's still the only country that, because of its economic aid, its financial aid, and trade with North Korea, it's really the only country that has the potential ability to change North Korea's behavior prior to that unfortunate and ugly point where we have to consider military options to prevent them from getting to the point where they've got that ballistic missile capability. This is the problem. The problem is that for 2.5 decades plus, that theory, the idea of somehow diplomacy through China with North Korea is going to work. It hasn't happened. And so we're now faced with the results of failed diplomacy over 25+ years that have got us to this point. Nobody should be under the misconception that this is all because of the new administration. And there's a certain segment of the left that wants to point to this crisis with North Korea as the result of, you've got President Trump in the office. He's banging the drum. He's a warmonger. That's not the case. The problem is failed diplomacy has allowed North Korea to, over a period of time, get to this point in the road where they're very close to a breakout with actual ballistic missile capability of delivering a nuclear warhead.
So is it, I mean, in your mind, is it almost pointless to go back to the China's premier at the G20 summit and say, look, you said that you were with us in clamping down on North Korea, but we find out your trade has increased. And by the way, the rocket launcher, the mobile rocket launcher that they used was Chinese-made. To me, they can all smile and shake hands for the photo ops. Nothing changes.
No, nothing changes. Duplicitous is a good word. I mean, the Chinese have been playing us fairly well over the years. And I think that what we're faced with is the realization. We have to be pragmatic. We have to try to work through the Chinese. We have to try to work with them. We have to try also the idea of perhaps additional sanctions. There's not much room left on the table for sanctions against North Korea. The Chinese have proven themselves able to go around those. Now there's talk about, well, let's sanction Chinese companies and individuals who have been enabling the North Korean program. That also is likely to fail because of China's ability and proven ability over the years to work around those sort of sanctions. So I think we have to try it. We have to try something, right? We don't want to just say, okay, our only option is a potential limited military strike, because we have no idea where that would go afterwards.
Right.
But we have to be pragmatic in saying, if we're going to do this, and we're going to do perhaps sanctions against Chinese companies and individuals, more pressure on the Chinese leadership, we have to be pragmatic and understand that's probably not going to work. So we do have to game out all the other various scenarios. It's a very unsatisfactory answer to your question, but it's the only one that's out there right now.
It's reality, unfortunately. But Mike Baker, thank you so much, as always, for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.